Notre Dame will start out in their man-to-man. They're pretty much a man-to-man team. They're staying with their matchups early.
And a nice feed inside from Lattimore to Noyon.
And Neil Ivey told us that she's been working on it the last 3 days.
2 quick buckets, that time Latasha Lattimore.
And one of the reasons why Lattimore is so good at the top of that 3-2, Matt, is because she's got a 6'9" wingspan, and she can rebound from the top of that zone down the middle of the floor.
Here comes Citron in transition. Hidalgo left open, and finally Notre Dame on the board. Their lone ACC contest this far, a loss to Boston College. And still some things to be ironed out for this young group. Liza Carlin under pressure, kick out, and Miles off the mark. Rebound Citron, and Carlin had it jarred loose. It'll stay here. Notre Dame has not seen much of this year is a 3-2 zone. And so far, Virginia's forced some errant shots. Not that time, tied at 4.
That's too easy. Well, I think it's perfect for her personality. I mean, it's all business-like, and she doesn't make very many mistakes. Let me say that. She understands her role and plays it well.
Hidalgo drains a 3, the first of the contest for the Irish.
This is what I'm talking about, going inside out. They get the ball to the baseline, inside the...
Koval gets a friendly bounce. What a revelation she's been as a first-year player.
Which you absolutely have to have. It's another one of those check marks on that box that you're looking for to be a complete team.
Hurd, second effort, rims it in. Citron, a deep 3.
You got that 6'9" wingspan running at you to close out on the 3-point line. Good job by Lattimore. And then a better take by Johnson. How about Virginia? It couldn't be a better start for the Cavaliers.
Hidalgo, yes! From downtown, her second.
Women's game. Hannah Hidalgo can get it done on both sides.
Well, that was almost picked, and it was. Hidalgo got into the cookie jar. Miles, Citron, right place, right time. And Virginia attack it and stop the run. Clark with an off-balance shot, rebounded by Carlin. Here comes Hidalgo. Citron, that's a 3.
You got to stop the ball. You have to put more pressure on the ball. Right now, they're going to increase those numbers naturally.
Coming off a 6th straight March Madness with 8 teams in the tournament field. Here comes Hidalgo. Money in the mid-range. Carlin into Koval. Big to big.
Really nice interior passing.
Hurd defended by Miles. Johnson with 3. And it's blocked by Citron. And out of bounds.
Watching at home, using the captions because both her parents are deaf. And her mom, we want to say hello to Patricia out there who's watching the game.
A lot of inspiration from her mom, who worked 2 jobs to help her and her sister have the resources they needed to pursue their dreams. And now here she is playing for Notre Dame. Miles on the run out, and another timeout by Virginia.
You know I care about offense. Come on, man. It's all O.
It has been all O for Notre Dame lately. That's a 24-0 run for the number 3 team in the country. Here's Miles, who's been a terrific 3-point shooter this year for Notre Dame. Inside. Won't go. Guess who? King. Right place, right time to clean it up. Olivia Miles coming off her 2nd triple-double of the season against Loyola Maryland. How about a little Euro step to the basket?
Virginia doesn't have a lot of that.
Hurd. Oh, rejected. Lay it to King with the swat.
Just things happen faster.
That was Notre Dame's first turnover of the game, giving it back to Virginia. Brianna Hurd had it swatted by Citron. Kymora Johnson just 1 for 6 this afternoon. That'll help from McGee. Her first made bucket of 3.
When you have your eye on a bigger prize.
That's a great point. Talked about it a little bit early as Johnson gets to the cup for just her second made basket.
Nation in scoring first in steals. They just have a lot of talent, and that hasn't happened. 4 players leading in 4 different categories.
They do anticipate her being ready very soon as Hidalgo, rather Miles, scoops it to the cup.
Because now you can do more pressure. You can up the game a little bit on that end of the floor.
Hidalgo, blow by, rims out. Carlin fighting for it, and here comes Johnson. Johnson off the bounce, knifing right past Miles for 2. Less than a minute to go in the opening half. Virginia at 1 point led in this game. And counted in the foul.
Good
for
ATO.
Odessa Noyon.
Noyon is a really good 3-point shooter.
1 second differential between game and shot clock here in South Bend. Citron fading away, knocks it in. King coming off 3 straight double-doubles as Citron reloads and hits from distance.
Say under the radar, X Factor, or any of those other 5 triple-doubles in her career. She's working on another one here this afternoon.
Coming off a triple-double in the win against Loyola, Maryland. Finish as Carlin tried to muscle it up. Lattimore, bounce pass stolen by Carlin.
Lattimore's got to catch that in the air and lay it in. Like that.
Thrown down to King, who doesn't miss from that spot on the floor much.
Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for helping me. And that's the job of a coach, right? You're supposed to take them to places that they don't know they can get to themselves. And, you know, she did commit to Syracuse. She ended up at Texas. Then she got hurt again. Then she went to Miami. Now she's at Virginia. Jargons or cliches you want to put on somebody like Citron. Forget about it.
Notre Dame in sound control on top 51-24. Clark rejected. Carlin with the block.
North Carolina and NC State are right there. And I never pass on Louisville. I'll never skip by Jeff Walls' ability to prepare his team. They've got talent. They've got young talent. The other team that I also like is Florida State. I think Brooke Wyckoff has her best team down in Tallahassee.
Miles, bounce pass, paid off by Hannah Hidalgo.
And she has experience in the backcourt. They just don't have big game experience. But when you look at the schedule that she put in place, Georgia Tech, if we had what the men had, they'd have 2 more quad 1 wins. Like, I don't understand why the quads are different. Someone's going to have to explain it to me.
Q3 and Q4 losses in the men's game, not stacked up with Q1 wins, means you're out of the conversation. And in the women's game, there is a much wider range of Q4.
I need somebody with a scientific, engineering, mathematical background to explain it to me at a high level that I can put it in layman's terms for people in the audience that are listening.
Defense and math, not Debbie Antonelli's strength.
I'm all about offense, you know that, Matt.
9-0 Notre Dame run. Make it 12-0. Citron is in her bag and forces a timeout.
Olivia Miles, that gives her 10. We're going to come out of this break. Notre Dame knows she's lurking.
In the first round, a few spots after her teammate Olivia Miles is a projected top 5 pick. That is a 3 from Olivia McGee.
Here comes the flash from the weak side.
5 to shoot for Hidalgo. Forces, draws a foul and 1. Come on.
Clock as well. Watch this right here. She knows time and score. She's taken on.
Noyon flips it to Clark. Contact, no call. Clark, second chance. Oh, bangs it in as she hits the deck. Less than a minute to go in the third quarter. Hidalgo knifing. Citron can't finish. Stays with it. And knocked loose by Clark.
Or any way you want. They play with pace, and they're excellent defensively. This is his best team at Duke.
Shot clock turned off. Home run pass. Hidalgo. Less than 20 seconds to go.
But, you know, like, it's a power poll to me. You know, it could change, but right now it's Hannah, and she has the head-to-head wins in the non-conference over both of those teams as well. But right now, Hannah Hidalgo is the best player in the country.
Do you take into account the head-to-head? When there is one, which we do have for Notre Dame against both of those teams. But Nia Ivy told us the thing that's impressed her most about Hidalgo this year is her composure. And the way she's handled the big moments already with 3 wins over top 5 teams as King scores in transition.
That's 8 overall, which leads the ACC.
And Clark punctuates it with an and one opportunity.
Coach Carol Owens, who's been at Notre Dame for 25 years. It's a fantastic. Carlos Knox, who's a player development guy who's been in the WNBA, who's helped develop some great players.
Watch out. Oh, yeah. Hidalgo from Miles.
It works. They are so good in transition. Jeff Walls will put it together. I have no doubt about it. He's got an excellent staff that's been around for a while, too, especially Stephanie Norman as associate head coach. And Amanda Butler from Clemson last year. So he's got another head coach on his bench as well as having it with your team.
Miles bumped, no call as she hits the deck, and here comes McGee. Out of the cluster for 2. Noyan into Grays. And that's just so tough to get it over the 6'5" freshman Kate Koval. Meanwhile, Hidalgo, home run pass counted in the foul.
And Emma Risch could probably get a few more minutes here, and I'm sure we're going to see that soon. But I do believe that Hannah is untrappable, unflappable. I don't think you can trap her, and as Virginia tries some full court pressure, Notre Dame just throws over the top of it.
Johnson inside, tapped away by Koval. And Hidalgo on the run out. She's like a wide receiver in the first half, which put this really out of reach as Koval sends that shot back from Brianna Hurd.
Better interior game with a rim presence, which they haven't had in a long time. They shoot the 3 better, and they've got 2 point guards on the floor in late game situations, and that matters. I think they're excellent on the defensive end, and that's where it starts for them. And I think their experiences last year in the NCAA tournament as Miles drops another dime. I'll be in Chapel Hill for that game, and I'll look forward to that one. That'll be a really good environment, and they'll get a better test. And for Virginia, it's all about process for Coach Mox. This young, inexperienced team is going to have some good film. They matched up against one of the best in the nation today, not just in the league.
Add it to the list of achievements.
I'd say 7 McDonald's All-Americans definitely helps.
Emma Risch cans it from deep. Shot clock turned off for UVA. Inside to Hurd, good in the foul. Notre Dame that has just looked so good since those 2 losses to Utah and TCU. It continues today in Nia Ivy's 100th career win as the Notre Dame head coach.